Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. I'm Gil, and it is time for Tactical Tuesday, where we're going to talk tactics, gear, and more. And the more is going to be what tonight's topic is about, and that is build your skill bank. And how's everybody doing out there? So let me go over here because I know I didn't get a chance to say hi to everybody with things going on here. So let's go in here and say hi now. All right, first one up was Crew 1351, followed by Diana, then Chef Tech, and Geeky Gardens, Truth, Goodness, and Beauty, Shady Hill Homestead, Kaylin Strain. All right. So those are. There is, yeah. So the number counting of YouTube is off, showing the number of people that are in here. Because it only shows 3 people in here, but I just, we got a bunch making comments. So now they went the other way as far as what they're showing. All right. So later on in the stream here, I'm going to ask everyone to make a comment of 2 skills. First skill is a skill you need, and the second one is a skill you think everyone else needs. All right, that's important. You're like, for me it'd be everyone needs to know first aid, period, no matter what. So pick a skill, and I'm gonna list some skills here, but so don't pick the ones I list here. Pick some other skills as we get into this. All right. And hang on here. I just realized I'm not sure if he's still out there. And Daniel Berry Sports Highlight just came in. Hey, Daniel. All righty. So let me get over here to this. There we go. Now, one of the things I did on this, choosing the thumbnail here, is, I know this is, Gray Man Prepping. It says Homesteading Skill Checklist. Personally and professionally, I would say that anyone that considers themselves a prepper should have in their skill bank homesteading skills, because if they got to bug out of the city and go out into the country, what are they going to need? They're going to need homesteading skills. And here comes Mark. So yeah, anybody comes in from bugs out from the city, out to where I'm at, or where the raccoon's cabin's at. It's going to need
good luck there.
Yeah, it's going to need homesteading skills to get along, not just to live, but to get along with the people that are already out there. So you have skills you can offer them to let you camp somewhere on their property as a employee type situation.
As a paid squatter.
Yeah. And Little Lone Prepper just came in. I mentioned earlier that the numbers up here were stuck on 3. They just jumped up to 13.
Yeah, so, imagine that.
Yeah. That's, I had 3 people watching, but there were comments from 6 going on. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's why I chose this one here. Is just, for preppers that aren't thinking about it. If you got to bug out of the city or the suburbs, or any place out farther to the rural country, yeah, you're going to want to have some homesteading skills to trade with. All right, so let's get on here. Things to do. So what skills do you lack? In this, you should probably do like a resume. I got this skill and I'm this level at it. I got this skill and I'm this level at it. I got this skill, I'm down here. I got general knowledge about this one. I wouldn't call it a skill yet, but I got general knowledge and I'm improving on it all the time. So, make a list of the skills you have and how you would rank them as far as how proficient you are in them, just like you would for a resume. And then you'll know, whoa, I'm lacking in other skills. like I said, first aid is one that I wholeheartedly believe everyone should have. That includes, and what I include in first aid is CPR and knowing how to run the automated the AEDs, automated electronic defibrillators. So that's kind of clumped together there. Ooh, man. Ooh, sorry, tummy's rumbling. I made the grandson's a box of hamburger helper cheeseburger macaroni, and I had a little of it. And my tummy's going, oh, you shouldn't have eaten that. It doesn't match your diet.
Nice.
Okay, next one, gardening. Everyone should, especially in these times, should be learning, have gardening skills, or should be learning gardening skills. Even if you're in the city, Kaylin's in an apartment and she gardens on her balcony. So that's one of those things to everyone should have, because back in the Depression era and in World War II, everyone was encouraged to plant gardens, even in the city, on balconies, on rooftops, wherever they could. They were encouraged to plant gardens. And Uncle Richard just came in.
There he is.
So garden is one that I believe everyone should have as well, especially since if they start developing that skill, they're going to realize how much certain channels are full of BS when they said, oh, you just need to get seeds. You don't have to worry about planting them down and learning. You just throw them in the ground and stuff grows and food grows for you. If it were that simple, everyone would have massive gardens and most of the grocery stores would be out of business.
My yard is a garden.
The yard in California has no lawn in it. It's all garden or driveway. So canning goes hand in hand with gardening. If you're producing food and
preserving food of one way, shape, or form,
you want to preserve the food for the winter time. You got it, like we talked about last night. Canning, dehydrating, freeze drying, just plain blanching and freezing. All the different ways of preserving food is what you need to know, so you can save the food that you've been gardening and growing. Oh, and adding to the last part there, save seeds. Yes. Right now, the carrots I planted last year that overwintered, I was going to pull them up, but they're making such great windbreaks for some of the peppers I planted on the east side of them in the raised planter beds. They're protecting them from the winds that are blowing like a son of a gun right now. But they're getting ready to drop seeds, so I'm going to be collecting carrot seeds and planting them on the west side of all my raised planter beds, because they make great windbreaks for fresh small plants coming up. Tomatoes, come on, brain work. Peppers, garlic. Garlic training do the same thing too.
You need to learn how to trellis your tomatoes and stuff. I do it. I got tomato plants that are like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, I do too. But right now they're only this tall, and they're going in the wind.
And
all right. Other skill, electrical. How many people do not know how to change a light switch or replace a electrical outlet receptacle that went bad? Simple things like that, is part of electrical skills. And then you can take it a little bit farther, preppers and homesteaders. Oh, I need to put solar in. If I know how to do if I know electrical, I mean, really, you learn electrical. I don't mean to pass the board test, but you know how to wire in a three-way and a four-way light switch, and you know how the single phase, three phase,
Yeah,
two leg.
ain't too many people have three phase in their houses. That's
I know, but
very
if
rare.
you have a general knowledge of how that kind of stuff works, it's really easy to go from AC to DC for learning.
Not so much. AC is a lot different. DC and AC are vastly different.
Yeah, but you understand a neutral, and you understand the power line, power feed, and stuff. So you understand negative and positive poles, like a flashlight and stuff. Putting the battery in the right way. You know, you learn stuff. But so if you learn electrical, even if it's just getting one of those Reader Digest books or one of the other, you do it yourself manuals, and you'll learn electrical. And on the same page, plumbing. How many people have, gotta call a plumber because something's not working right, and the plumber comes in and you see him fix the problem in 2 minutes, and you kind of ask, what was the problem? And it turned out to be something stupid that you could have done yourself if you'd known what it was.
Yep. 400 hours later.
Yeah. See, animal husbandry. You're raising chickens, goats, rabbits, pigs,
kids,
pygmy goats, whatever, sheep. Learn about animal husbandry. And for some people that I've seen them talking about it, especially preppers, I want to learn how to train dogs. Well, that training and breeding dogs falls under animal husbandry as well. My daughter had a problem with the shower over in the house across the street, and Eli's was getting big enough that he was yanking on the shower head. So she went and measured up. I told her what if you're going to change it and you want to raise it up, measure the line from where it is center line where the hole is now. Measure up, 6, 7, 8 inches. Mark it, drill it there, and then when we take it the other side apart, we can raise the backboard that holds the 90 degree in place. You raise that up exactly the same amount, and then you get another piece of PEX pipe, and you measure the same. Measure the fitting, the little gap on the fitting that they have to have for it, and you can put it in. And she did it herself. So yeah. Let's see. And of course, they've been raising rabbits and chickens for 8 years now. Yeah. And so the last one thing here is, what other skills? So now is the time I would like everybody in the side chat to put down one skill that you need and one skill you think everybody else needs. So your skill should come first and everybody else's skill should come second. And go ahead and put that in the chat of what skills you think you need and that you think everyone else needs to, one skill everyone else really needs to learn. When I was doing the preparedness fair circuit and was lecturing on them, on one of my presentations, I had, PowerPoint, and it probably had 10 lines of skills. List the skill, comma, list the skill, comma, list the skill, comma. You just, all the way through.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Basic carpentry.
Yeah.
You gotta put some shingles on your house because they blew off in a storm. And
yeah, my brother is an electrician and lives a couple doors. Unfortunately, he thinks I'm paranoid. He also makes fun of my foraging. But yeah, barbed wire. There are some great videos on barbed wire. Back to Basics 101. Geez, how many years ago was that? It's at least 5 years ago. He put up a great video on repairing and installing barbed wire fencing for cattle, and how to make the gates, how to make the corner braces. He had several videos he put up on it. Absolutely, definitely a good one. If you want to know about that. Now, razor wire, I know that some of the guys that install that stuff that I met at a job site, they actually have chainmail gloves under the leather gloves.
Yeah, you need special equipment for razor wire because
yeah,
you're not gonna like just unspool it and nail it to the fence. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, look, watching them work with it, it was like, okay, if I ever have to put in razor wire, I'm going to make sure if it's before the collapse, I'm going to hire a professional group to come in and do it. If it's afterwards, I'm going to make sure I recruit someone to the group that knows how to do that, because I don't want to be walking around like, hey man, yeah, you just call me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Call me Seven Finger Joe.
I got the birds are having a feast out here today.
That's fine. It's just very soft. It's quieter than the boys that just walked in the back door. Yeah. Any prepper knowledge, yeah. A lot of people just need that. What was so funny is my mom, who was born in 1922 and was 9 years old during the collapse, the Great Depression. She by the time she graduated high school, she had gained a lot of prepper knowledge that they didn't call it prepper knowledge, and they called it common sense stuff. As whenever a grocery store puts out coupons, save all the coupons, go through and match them up for what you need to get, and how to reuse stuff.
I grew up lucky. It was one of those families where if I wanted to do something and Dad didn't know how to do it, he'd tell me to go ask my uncle. If he didn't know how to do it, he'd tell me to go ask my other uncle. If he didn't know how to do it, he told me to go to the library and learn it. So I did.
Yeah. Okay. So my nephew, my cousin's son, worked on first F-14s when he first went into the Navy. Then he went to F-18s, and he stayed on F-18 so he got his 20. I think if you could do 20 or 25, and yeah, he's funny. He tell me stories that it's weird on the fighter security stuff. The pilots, if a pilot walks up to you while your mechanics are working on it, they got to close compartments that have classified information because the pilots don't have clearance to see what is in the thing they're flying. Yes, sir. I know this is your plane, but check your security clearance. You don't have clearance to see what's in this box. I can't fly it, but I have the clearance to work on what's in this box. Maternal grandmother born in 1990. Yeah, my in the early 60s, we had raised so many chickens, we had to send a bunch to freezer camp. And so my grandmother and my mom were out there, and my dad, who had never done chickens before but had butchered beef, was out there. He goes, "Oh, this ain't that much difference," and he just started going to town faster than the rest of them. Yeah. Unfortunately, those that don't have common sense don't realize it. And if they do realize they're lacking in some things, they're like, I've gone so far, I don't need it. And what do we got here? Yeah, rag rugs, tote bags, garden knee pads, garden aprons. Yeah, recycle stuff, clothing and stuff, and quilts, of course. Yeah, my wife does quilts. She goes to classes. I think it's every other Saturday, and first and third Saturdays of the month, and they present different quilts, the kits for quilts, and so that you pay your fee and you can buy the sets and then all the instructions, and they actually start working on as a demo on a demo one there, start working on it so everyone can take notes and ask questions about the tricky parts if they're not expert quilters yet. But yeah, my wife for Christmas made a Christmas tree quilt, and then from a pattern, and enlarged it from 4 feet tall to 8 feet tall and a little bit wider, and then made a quilt steam train across the bottom, made the cab, and made all the pieces for it. That was impressive when I saw that. Yep. Yeah, you do not want to make char cloth out of polyester.
No, it doesn't really make char cloth. It makes a hard plastic ball.
Yeah.
It'll burn, but you don't want to smell it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that weird banging. That's the grandsons are now outside. I'm not sure what they're beating on. It doesn't sound like the slide. I'm trying to look out the window here.
Probably got one of their brothers against the side of the house, and they're beating on them there.
No, it's farther away. Okay, they're beating on the burn barrel.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, skills. Other skills I think everyone needs to learn, besides the ones who are on there, that even my wife and my daughter took time to learn with me, was working concrete. As much as my wife hates I put in so much concrete. And it's like, do you want to pull all those weeds? Because we ain't growing lawn there. We can't afford water to put the water, back in California. We can't afford the water to put grass there. And we're not going to be able to put a lawn or rocks. Concrete keeps the weeds away. There's the one area she had me put down weed blocker and a bunch of pea gravel. It was a nice area for the first 2 years. And then the weeds started popping up that blew in. Yeah, the weed blocker blocks the ones that the seeds in the ground from coming up. It doesn't stop the seeds from wiggling through the crack, through it, and getting down into the ground. And now you have weeds growing through the weed blocker, making the gaps between the threads wider. So, yeah. Anyways, and Prepper 101's here. So, so concrete work is one that you can do a lot of stuff with, or concrete and mortar work. 2 things I learned when I was in junior high, playing around. I wanted to make a pond, and my dad's aunt Zilda found out about that, sent me a check for $50. Back then, that was a lot of money to go buy bags of mortar and concrete so I can make a little pond with waterfall and stuff. I learned a lot playing around with that stuff. Small engine mechanics, big engine mechanics. When I say big engine mechanics, I'm talking stuff before electronics got on the motors.
Just learn general mechanic stuff. Just go down to the Goodwill store, buy a bicycle for like $5, take it home and take it apart. and then put it back together again. That's how you learn to do it. You know, like you can't just learn by watching a YouTube video. You got to get your hands dirty and start playing with it. I was building bicycles when I was 14, 13.
11 here. Yeah. Actually, before we started, we got Schwinn bicycles, and that summer my brother and I each had them, and we started tweaking them. Mine came with a regular seat. I put a banana seat on it with a low bar on it. Then I changed out, put a high sissy bar with a pad on it. And then we've got fork extensions.
I think I only got like one bicycle for a gift ever. Mm-hmm. After that, no, it was like garbage picking. I mean, on Wednesdays in my town growing up, everybody just put stuff on a curb every other Wednesday. Everything, lawnmowers, bicycles. My garage was constantly full of stuff. My dad would get mad, but most of it wound up back on a curb just to leave because it was absolute junk. But I was finding bicycles. I was building my own bicycles, changing sprockets. I wasn't into the handlebars and that. I wanted to go faster. Yeah. So I put a bigger sprocket on the front pedals, and I had to extend my chain. So it took a little more energy to get it going. But, man, my top speed was a whole lot faster once I got there.
Yeah. That's one of the things my brother did on his. He added a 3-speed sprocket to the back. So he got that off another bike, put it on there, and so his nice Schwinn, he had 3 speeds now for it.
I should send you a picture of the double-decker bike I welded together from 2 frames. I loved it. My seat was literally over the rear axle, so if I pedaled too hard, I was doing wheelies, and I was 7 feet off the ground. I rode that thing everywhere. I had it in parades. It was awesome. Then somebody stole it. We haven't figured that out yet. We don't know where it went. They stole it, and it disappeared, and never saw it again. At that point, I wasn't really worried about it. I was into cars.
Yeah. Storing root vegetables. And cabbage and winter squash. Part of that is also knowing what type of winter squash to plant. I'm trying to remember what. I've talked about it a bunch for years, and then I haven't mentioned it, and I forgot that because my daughter, I grew some, and my daughter grew some the same year, and her crop didn't turn out as good as mine, so I just gave her, I was experimenting, and she gave it to her, and hers lasted till all through the winter and into about July or August. So, was it something nut? Butternut, and then there's the other one, which was
butternut lasts good. Acorn squash is a fairly good one. You just got to make sure you keep it cold and dark.
Yeah. All right. Okay, and let's see. Oh boy. My tummy's going growly. I'll be back in a minute.
Uh-oh. Gil has got to change his diet or stop eating crap. I think everybody should learn some basic carpentry skills. I think you should all learn just a lot of just basic stuff. I mean, you're not going to get a job being an electrician or a carpenter or a mechanic or anything like that. But like I said, go down to not Harbor Freight. Well, you can go to Harbor Freight and buy some really cheap tools that'll get you through for a long time. You're not going to open up your own shop. But go to Goodwill, go to garage sales. You can buy a lawnmower at a garage sale, probably for like $10. May or may not run. Who cares? Learn how to take the carburetor apart. See what it looks like inside. Once you start to see how things look like inside, it makes it easier to understand how they work. I hope there's no wine at the bathroom for him. Yeah, I'm not giving anybody my lemon cake. Although I now have to make it my own because I was buying that Lidl. I bought lemon pound cake. It's really good. Doesn't have any weird ingredients in it. And but making pound cake is really easy. I just haven't gotten around to it. But, yeah, making little squares out of it, throw in the freeze dryer, and bag them up. I just bag up 15 bags of, I guess they're about 65 grams each, which is a fair amount that's a snack bag. And lots of freeze-dried stuff. Uncle Richard's listening, going, "Oh yeah, you better send me some." Yeah, you can come over and get it, Richard. Learning basic cooking stuff. Most of us here know how to cook. Knife skills with cooking. Go buy a couple carrots. Don't cut your fingers off. Yeah, helping somebody out. That's great, Kaylin. Just find somebody doing something in a club or whatever, and just ask if you can hang out, watch them, maybe help them a little bit. Even if you're just hammering nails, you learn how to not smash your finger, usually by smashing your finger. Come on, Gil. I don't do well by myself. Well, not on a live stream. That sounds good. You have to look into the buckwheat flour. I know it's a coarser flour. You probably have to modify some stuff with that. I haven't cooked anything with. Well, I made buckwheat pancakes. That was different. Who else is in here? Hey, Richard, you still out there? Oh, I have a blue jay nest right over my deck here. Never had a blue jay nest in my yard at all, and the grackles constantly go after him or her. And yeah, it's noisy out here this time of the day. It's what is it here? It's 8:30, so it's still twilight out. It's light out a little bit. That's when all the animals come out. That and early in the morning. So I'm out here throwing them peanuts. Yeah, you got blue jays, grackles, starlings, Baltimore Orioles. There's some bluebirds floating around somewhere. A lot of Carolina wrens. They're cute. Oh, he's back. I'm just talking to everybody. Make time.
I was listening right there.
Everything come out all right?
Yeah. When you're talking about lawnmowers and carburetors, try getting a really old one that actually has a carburetor you can work on.
Yeah. A
And if
bowl
you
and
get
a float.
ones and you see it's all plastic, realize, okay, the guy probably, and it looks like someone tried working on it, realize that the plastic ones, even the shops will not work on them. They'll say it's not worth our time and it's not worth your money. It's cheaper to go out and buy a new cheap plastic one, put on there.
Yeah,
And
they're all most of them are plastic welded together, so you don't take it apart. And if you get it apart, it won't go back together again.
Yeah, and the biggest problem with those is gasoline with ethanol in it. It kills the plastic ones.
Froze. What kills the plastic? Oh, the alcohol.
The ethanol in the gasoline. You got to get ethanol-free gasoline to run your lawnmowers and stuff on.
Yep.
Something else another skill to learn along the same lines that can turn into a side hustle is learning how to do chainsaw motors and leaf blower motors, and all those little the small ones, engines and stuff.
Yeah, you got to get parts for them though. A lot of those parts, Lowe's sells their basic kits. Most of them are wrong.
Yeah,
you just got to know where to get parts for it, and little diaphragms for your two-stroke carburetors, little Warbro carbs. Yeah,
and there are out in the more rural areas. Some of the community colleges and stuff have classes, small instrument classes and stuff like that. But if you've learned the basics and you don't want to set up your own company, but you want to work on engines now and then and stuff, get with a repair shop and see if they have if you can become an apprentice in there. Come in and work, 2 days a week in the evenings or whatever, and help out, and maybe on a Saturday or something, help out and pick up the skill from professionals. Let's see here. Carrot cake, buckwheat. I'm just reading the chat here. There was something else you mentioned too, that I wanted to add something to, and I can't remember what it was.
What, the Blue Jay or Harbor Freight?
No, it was one of another skill. Yeah, tool repair for sharpening lawnmower blades, sharpening chainsaw blades, sharpening drill bits, all that type of tools and stuff. Axes and hand saws, not the chainsaws, but the circular saws or the rip saw or the crosscut saws. Learning how to sharpen those.
You generally need special tools to sharpen blades. You can do it by hand if you really want to take the time and learn that one.
The price on the jigs have come down a lot, but still people don't take the time to learn to use the jig properly.
No, they just go buy another one, or you find somebody that does it for you. And my dad used to once every few years, he would just take this giant stack of saw blades on it with him and go down there and just give it to the guy. Some were carbide, some were regular, and he'd get them all back, and they'd all be sharpened up.
Yeah, I was going through drills bits so much when I was remodeling it back in California. I went and bought the drill doctor set. I got it, was reading how to use it, and then we bought the property up here.
Nice. I learned how to hand sharpen a drill bit on a grinder when I worked at my father-in-law's machine shop with where the kerf edge is and how to keep it centered and all that. And he would just go over and sharpen a bit. I mean, starter bit, didn't matter the bit, unless it was carbide. He taught me how to do it. I was like, cool. So I sharpen my own when I need them. If it's that bad, I'll sharpen it.
On something that's 3/8 or larger, I guess I can go down to 5/16. But yeah, I can sharpen. I can hand do the drills that one. But you get down to the smaller ones, where you start getting down to 1/4 inch and down to 16th or 32nd or 64th. You need, having that drill doctor when I get around to sharpening all those.
The only thing about the drill doctor is it doesn't give you that relief edge on the backside. Yeah. So they work. They're good for wood and stuff, but we used to drill metal. So if you don't put that back relief on it on the top of the shank, you're going to get into it and burn it right up.
Yeah. But once it's tuned, right, some of them you have a thing where you can tilt. They advertise that you can tilt and you can do a different the relief on the back.
Right.
But yeah, I said getting the proper tool to help you do the job is
right
part of it as well. Let's see. Learning how to patch a tire in a car. We were taught that in high school, and it was part of the automotive merit badge for Boy Scouts. So I took that one out. But we learned how to put a patch on the inside of the tire and how to use the
plug.
The plug, but you do the rasp, then you squirt in the rubber cement stuff, and then you take the plug on the square plug with the tool and you stick it in there, and you pull the tool back out. It leaves the plug in there. You cut off the inside, you cut off the outside, give it a little more. Yeah, we learned all how to do that in high school. And
I freaked out a guy at the motorcycle shop. Well, I didn't freak him out. My buddy did. I sold him my motorcycle. Had 60,000 miles on it. By the time he decided to go in and get tires put on it, they were pretty bald.
Yeah.
I had the bike for a week, and I hit a 12-penny nail with my front tire. And that tire back, that was expensive to do, and I wasn't going to take it in. So I went to a local gas station. I didn't have a plug kit at the house. I went to the local gas station. I was like, you guys got tire plugs? And the guy looked at me like I'd lost my mind. And I was like, it's just a nail. He was like, I ain't touching it. It was a tubeless motorcycle tire. He's like, you're insane, dude. If that thing blows out, you're dead. I'm like, okay. So I did it. He just gave me the stuff. I did it myself. And I put a plug in there. When my buddy took the tire in, they took the tire up and looked inside and all about died. They're like, you literally had a plug in this front tire for 60,000 miles. And he knew it was there. He didn't care. He's like, yeah, my buddy put it in when the bike had like 200 miles on it. He's like, I can't believe it. The last of that one, you're lucky you didn't die. He's like, 60,000 miles. It's a good plug. I didn't die.
Yeah.
We're good. They're just worn out.
Uncle Richard says, blacksmith, metalworking.
Yeah, if you don't know how to sharpen your blades on your lawnmower, and you just go buy another one, go find somebody who does. Go on Facebook and find a local guy that just likes to make things like blacksmith and talks about it. Just give them the blades. That's some good carbon steel blades. They love that stuff.
Yeah. Or if you're in a hurry, you buy one. Now you have the old one. There are shops around that you can take it in there, and they will put it on the thing. They'll grind it, put it on it, and then on the balancer, and then figure out how much they got. A couple more passes with the ultrafine file, and just balance it perfectly. And usually they do that fairly fast too.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
And especially if they have the machine there are machines out there to lock it in and go zip, zip, and it'll release it, and it'll go back, zip, zip, and it's balanced and sharp.
Yep. Plugging, patching getting an inner tube out of a bicycle tire without dismounting everything, putting a patch on it, getting it tucked back in there, and getting the tire back on the B without pinching the tube and poking another hole in it. I know Gil's done that. We've all done that.
Actually, I was so paranoid about it. I took twice as long, and I never punctured a tube putting it back in because I was so paranoid about doing that. Because my parents rode me you put another hole in that. We don't have money to burn. Yeah, okay. And I was like, yeah. My brother and I learned to do it slow and careful and get it right without doing it again.
Yeah. Oh, just a thought. Stop leak doesn't work very well on a bicycle tire. Just letting you know. I tried.
Oh, the
green slime or whatever.
Yeah, green slime.
Yeah.
My grandsons got freebie bikes.
Well, good.
The one had the tires are nearly bald in the center of it, like big old knob threads.
Knobby tires. Yeah,
knobby tires on the side still, but in the center, you can barely see where the knobs used to be in the center.
Yeah, I'd run mine down to the cords, and even then, still ride it until a little tiny pebble put a hole in it.
Yeah, not quite that far yet, but it was flat. So I aired it up, and I sprayed it down. I didn't see any air bubbles on it, and the next day it was flat again. And so I thought, I got extra green slime here from my tractor. I'll put some in it. Pulled out my little wrench for my valve stem wrench. Went to put it in there, and there's so much crap packed in around it down in there, and it almost looks like concrete. And I worked and screw it. I'm just going to buy a tube for it. The valve stem, the valve inside of it was just so. I was surprised I was able to put air in it.
Yeah, I learned how to straighten my rims with a spoke wrench. After you hit a couple too many things, and all of a sudden your wheels are wobbling. So, put it on there and put a little. I didn't need a dial indicator. I just put a little piece of wood on a C clamp and just watched it, and just straighten your rim back out.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Excellent. I take it that's probably just a local one, right? There in Des Moines. So you have to see if there's others that are out there in different cities to that do the same thing. Okay. Farrier.
That's if you're into horses.
If you're into horses, and if you're worried about the grid going down and still wanting to, and you want to have a plow horse or whatever else,
that's a niche market, and
yeah,
that's not something you learn overnight. You take years to learn how to shoe horse. You don't just run down to the store and buy a shoe. You can do it, but you're going to have to shape it to fit the hoof and trim the hoof and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's a niche market right there.
My dad was a farrier, and he learned on the rodeo circuit. He hit the rodeo circuit when he was 17 years old, and did it till from 1940. Actually, the summer of 46 is when he went out. In 47, he was in the top 10, and he was in the top 10 until 1956. And that's when he started getting round butt disease.
Round what? Round butt disease?
Round butt disease. Couldn't stay in the saddle anymore.
Oh.
That's a cowboy joke. Okay, I know it's a cowboy joke.
That's a niche joke for a niche market.
But yeah, but all the years of doing the rodeo circuit, he learned from the farriers that were at the rodeo circuit how to do stuff. So in 1960, when we moved up to Northern California, they had some friends up there already, and he learned that farriers up there with all the horse, they were working 16 hours a day, farriers, because there were so many horses and not enough farriers. So yeah, he did that for about 5 years. Circle of death here.
Yeah, he's spooling. That's all him, because everybody else is fine. At least I got it running on another channel here, and it's good.
Handbrake cable on the last trike. Yep. Excellent. Okay. Yep. Just reading those. There's so I got to when I get the tire for Danny's bicycle, I'm gonna work with him, because fortunately it's the front tire, so it's gonna be easier to take off and replace the tube and stuff than it is the back tire. I hate getting flat tires on back tires.
That's where you learn. Actually, you can't.
I learned how to do it, but I still hate it because it's so time consuming.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying you can't take the tube. You can repair the tube while it's still on the bike. You can't replace it because you kind of got to go around the fork. Yeah. I mean, you can cut the old one out, but you're not going to cut the new one in.
Yeah. You got to take the loosen it up, so you take the chain off, take the chain guard off, and do everything, and then get it off, and then do it and get it back on, and get it. The rear. I always had the worst time with getting the rear wheel square. So my dad told me to use his big carpenter square. So I'm going to teach him how to replace the tube, and show him why there's a rubber liner inside the rim to keep the
spoke things from hitting it.
Yeah, it's the spoke things from cutting it.
Hey, in a pinch, just wrap electrical tape around it. You're good.
Yeah. Oh, you're not. If you're going to do that, try to get the rubberized electrical tape. It's more expensive, but you put one of those around and put on it, and a short piece of the vinyl tape over that to make sure it holds it in place. That stuff is tough. Yeah,
I just went around 2-3 times. If that rubber liner was gone, I didn't know what it was for. I left it out and got about a quarter mile from the house and blew another hole in the tube. And then I ruined the tube. Had to buy a tube. Then I realized what it was and grabbed a roll of my dad's electrical tape, just wrapped it around the inside of the rim. I wasn't worried about a balance issue because I wasn't going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. Let's see. Other skills.
Just basic carpentry.
It's cooking. You talked about cooking. Learning how to cook. Learn how to cook indoors and outdoors.
Just learn. So cooking indoors, outdoors is not really, it's sort of relevant, but learning just basic skills. I mean, I had courses.
Yeah, I know you're a chef. But for the lady,
no, I'm just saying, I had courses in college, just basic knife skills.
Yeah.
Because if you have a dull knife, you're not doing anything. If you have a sharp knife, yes, you're going to cut nice, but you have to be careful because a dull knife is your worst enemy.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
ask Uncle Richard. He knows.
I'm not sure if this is going to show here. I'm going to try to get it to show if I can. Hang on. I got to take this off to show it. I'm not sure if that's that scar there.
Yeah, the long one. It looks like a vein, but okay.
That's a scar. That's a scar from when I was 10 years old, and I've been in the Cub Scouts and stuff, and had my Boy Scout knife, the one from back in the 60s, and no one told me that it needs to be sharpened. And I'm just cutting down an old half-gallon milk carton, the cardboard or the wax paper milk carton, and I'm cutting it. I'm pushing. I don't cut that way, so I turn around and I pull back on it, and it's
suicidal tendencies, eh? Okay.
And so I learned 2 lessons that day that no one told me about: was never cut towards yourself, and always sharpen your knife, because a dull knife, you'll be struggling with it, and it'll hit the one spot on the knife blade that sharpen. It'll go whip.
Yep. Everybody's always afraid it's too sharp, I'm going to cut myself. No, if it's dull, you're going to stab yourself.
Yeah. Cooking fire management for
cooking.
Yeah. I would say watch some of Tammy's videos where she's cooking in cast iron outdoors. Yeah. That's the outdoor cooking I'm talking about. That's different than indoor, because unless you have a wood stove and a wood cooktop stove, because you can burn something really quick.
Yep. So like I said, go sharpen your knife. Make sure you have a nice sharp knife. Go buy a carrot, an onion, an apple, and just watch other people cut and make julienne slices, little thin strips, stuff like that, and learn how to keep your fingertips tucked under, and make sure you're holding the knife properly so you're not wobbling. And when my wife does cook things at work at the hospital, I would come home at night and it'd be like 8 onions and a whole bunch of different vegetables and stuff out, and I'll be like, all right, how do you want it? She wanted her onions super fine diced for the hot dogs. She wanted all these different things for crudité platter. I'm like, okay. 10 minutes later, I'm done. She's like, this is why I have you do it. She'd be there all day.
Something else just popped in my mind on this along the cooking line, only a little bit different.
Now you're frozen.
Learn how to make your own sausage.
Hell, yeah.
Links and stuff like that. Grind up, make your own your own flavored sausage that you like, whether you're making links or you're going to just make patties or whatever. Learn how to do it, how to season it to the way you like it. It's one of those things. It's a learning experience, trial and error as far as the flavoring goes. But learn how to grind the meat. Learn how to make your own hamburger.
Hey, back in the day when they didn't have meat grinders, guess how you made hamburger and sausage? With a knife.
Yep.
You just chopped that stuff up until it was mush.
Also they'd cut up so much, and then they had the mallet with the tenderizer mallet.
Yeah, you smash it down.
Beat it to mush with.
Yeah. Just cover it with something. Cover it with saran wrap or something so you're not splashing meat all over the place.
Yeah. So that's another skill to learn how to do that. Animal husbandry, we talked about that, about raising them. Freezer camping. Learn how to do everything you need to do to freezer camp the birds, the rabbits, the whatever. And so that's another skill there to have. When I learned how to deer hunt, I learned before that I had learned how to prep a cow, gut it, quarter it, get all that, and then then we take it down to the local butcher shop. That's when you still bring stuff in, and they did it all up for us. So we learned how to do the how to skin it and gut it and do all that stuff for it.
Yeah, Diana too's like, Yeah, give us a knife skills class on a live stream. Yeah. There's so many people out there. As soon as I used to get yelled at by the chefs in college. I learned from one chef how to hold my knife the proper way, her proper way. And I still use that because I'm very stable with it. And I used to get yelled at by every other chef. They're like, why are you holding your knife that way? I was like, Chef French taught me that. They would just walk away shaking their head because I could control my knife. Everybody else was holding it by the handle. My thumb and forefinger are over the shoulder and squeezing the base of the blade for I can control the angle and all that stuff. They hated me, but yeah, it's a skill. I mean,
yeah. I've talked about this before. My step grandfather, Rolly Harper, owned a catering and rental equipment company for the motion picture studios. He hired 3 German pastry chefs. Well, he called them pastry chefs. They were more than pastry chefs. All right. And yeah, I remember them holding the blade so far forward on the blade so that this finger was right up against the back of the blade, and their index and thumb finger were on the blade, on the sides of the blade.
That's where mine are.
And cutting the different things and stuff. And it's like, because I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, people grab it by the barrel of the handle, and when you're pushing, because when I cut, the tip of my knife never leaves the cutting board. It just doesn't. I mean, it does when it has to. And I don't think you want to know how many hundreds of pounds of onions I've had to cut literally with my eyes closed. Shredding onions for French onion soup and that 50-pound bag, 6 onions in, I can't see anymore, but they're already peeled and ready to go. I know what I'm doing. I just reach over, grab it, find where the knife is on my knuckle, and I'll just cut it. My wife would come over and just cringe. So you're going to cut your finger off? I was like, no, well, I may lose a shave of skin every now and then, but that's about it.
Okay, I got something to show you here.
Yeah, don't forget. Galen said, don't forget how to maintain your little Plinker wireless device.
Yeah. Cleaning
and whatever.
And don't forget how to change the blinker fluid on your turn signal.
Yeah, or at least how to fill it.
All right, I see. This is where I got it at. There is something. Go through here, find it here if I can. Nope. Getting close. I got a lot in this one here. Come on, I should be coming across it any minute here now. Hope it's in this one. I thought it was in this one here. Oh shoot!
What are you looking for? A video on?
No, just I'm looking for something that I've seen them talking about it for different things, and then somebody else in the comment section says, "Yeah, I got one of those. I use it for when I'm doing onions and stuff." It's a lot cheaper than a lot of the things that are out there. It's a
mandolin?
Like safety goggles for your full face. No respirator on it, but it has a little thing where you can put something in there to catch dust and stuff. And $59 or $49 compared to the $269 for the full face respirators.
Oh, how many onions are you going to cut? Here's a tip for you. Put a small fan on and blow those fumes away from your cutting board so they're not coming up in your face and going up your nose. That's why you cry. The fumes go up your nose. You can try to breathe through your mouth. Everybody's tried everything. Just put a small fan on and just blow the fumes away.
The other trick was put the onions in the refrigerator first.
Yeah, put them in water. I soak mine in water. It helps.
So it's chilled overnight, so it's cooler.
Yeah, you're still gonna cry.
Yeah.
And if you're only cutting one onion, no big deal.
No big deal. Yeah. But if you're
it depends on how fast you can cut the onion. I cut mine up quick, so by the time I start to feel the tears coming on, and it's always one eye first. So I'll cut the first 5 pounds of onions with 2 eyes, the next 5 pounds with 1 eye, as I'm trying to hold, because you don't want to rub your eyes. That makes it worse.
Yeah. All right. But I was thinking if you've used, like I got a couple 20-gallon pots that I got from Scout Camp that they were going to throw out. If I'm making 20 gallons of chili, that's going to be a lot of chopped up onions.
Yeah, and you better stir that thing well so it doesn't burn to the bottom of that much volume in there. You better have a canoe paddle to stir that thing.
I do. I got one for my wife. I got one for the two other ladies that were on the NYLT course that were under me. They're 24-inch long paddles, 3 inches wide at the base, wooden ones.
Yep.
Yeah. When I got the pots, it's like, okay, I added the 30-inch to my wish list, so that when I'm actually going to start using it, I'm going to buy it.
When I was in the big kitchens, we had the big 80-quart stock pot or 100-quart stock pots, whatever they were, the big steam kettles, and we had a stainless steel canoe paddle. We called it the canoe paddle.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully gave a lot of you ideas for what skills are out there to learn and think about. Now, besides ones you should learn, if you're thinking of, I've mentioned at least once during the live stream here about a side hustle or a part-time job, to supplement your main job. Think about something that you like to do, because you don't want to have your side hustle be something you don't like. That's a dredge. Something that you're interested in, that's easy to do, that you can do, and learn the skills for that. And so with that, excuse me, put that over there. Thursday is the Midnight Ride here on Gray Man Prepping. Friday is on Camp Patton Family Compound, Your Home Without China Crap. Saturday back here on Gray Man is After the Who Demands Chipping. Everybody gets a chip. Monday,
a potato chip.
No, the subdermal. We know where you're going.
I don't think they're ever going to do that because that's too obvious. They already got other stuff in plans, but that's another story.
Yeah. Monday on the Fireside Chat is canning in the summer heat. And we talk about options there. Next Tuesday is clean out your freezer. I'm going to talk about
my chest freezers.
Chest freezer, upright freezer, whatever type freezer it is. Clean it out. We're going to talk about reasons to clean it out, what you can do, and help you organize your freezer so you don't find something. Oh, wait a minute! I bought this porterhouse steak 2 years ago, and it's been in the bottom.
About 5 years ago. I know. I got something in the bottom of my one freezer that's 7 years old right now. Yeah. It's seafood.
But there are some people that don't take it out of the original store packaging.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me started. My wife does that. I wrapped the store packaging in saran wrap. It's like all you do is seal the air in there. Even better, it's still freezer burned. It's crap.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
That's what's coming up here. And Thursday is, since it is the second Thursday of the month, it's going to be city council meeting. And so I set the schedule instead of starting at 8 o'clock, it starts at 8:30. So just in case, but be ready. I may make it in on time, and then if I get back, if it's only like a 30-minute city council meeting, I will change the time so everybody should get a new ping. Should. All right. So with that, everyone, remember, learn a new skill every month. All right. Take care, and we'll see you Thursday for the Midnight Ride.
Have a good night.